Hello all, this is my 7-segment display programmed using Verilog on this DE10-Lite FPGA board. It uses the far right switches, the 4 far right switches over here, and each represents a number. The 4 switches together represent a 4-bit binary number. So this switch over here, SW3, represents the most significant bit, and the switch over here, SW0, represents the least significant bit. So you see, as I turn on the switches, it corresponds to a certain number. So as you see, the switches are all off, corresponding to a binary number of 0, 0, 0, 0, and that will give us a number of 0. But if I switch this switch on, which will give us a binary number of 0001, which is just 1 in decimal, it will give us 1. And then if I switch the the third switch and lower the fourth switch, that will give us a binary number of 0010, which is 2, which is what we have there. So if you see me cycle through this, you'll see 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, which is 10, the 10th character in hexa, and then switch that to B, go to C, D, E, and then F, which is all the switches up. So that was the demonstration of this project.
Okay, now I'll explain the project. As you know, I did a 7-segment display using Verilog and FPGA. This is the FPGA board I used, which is the DE10-Lite from Altera. And now I'll show you the 7-segment display and how this board uses it. So you see they have 6 of them at the bottom left right here, and I'll just be using the furthest right one. And each of the segments is activated by a certain pin. So the name of the pin is hex 0 and then the corresponding number. And we won't be using the decimal pin. And these are the pin names. So FPGA number pin number. And you see C14 all the way to C17. And those are the ones we'll be using. And they'll be controlled by 4 switches. And each configuration of the switches will correspond to a hexadecimal number. Now we're here in Cortex Prime, which is where I coded the Verilog code. And you see we have 4 inputs and 7 outputs, which is in the form of a 7-lane wire. So we have an always block, which will run this over and over again. And inside it we have a case. So the different cases will come from the different inputs that we have, and the inputs will be provided by the switches. So as you see here, this is going to be the input given by the switches. So when all the switches are off, it's going to give you a value of 000. So when it gives you a value of 000, you want to activate the segments as follows. So 0000, we want an output of 0. So if you go back to the diagram, 0 is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on, and then the middle 6 off. So we need to, and remember, when sending signals to these pins, 0 is on and 1 is off. So we want to keep the 7th bit off, which means we send 1 to the 7th bit, then send 0 to the rest of the bits. And you see we did that here. We sent 0 to all the other bits, from bit 0 to bit 6, we sent 0, which turns on those bits. And then on the 7th bit, which is the 6th segment, we sent 1, which turns off the bit. And then we repeated that for all the others. So when 1 switches up, it's 0001, and then that would lead to us wanting 1. So 1 would just be 1 and 2, the segments 1 and 2 activated, and then all the rest are off. So as you see, segments, where are we? Segments 1 and 2 are activated while all the others are off. So, and then we just repeated that for all the others. So 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to F. Also, you can see the pin assignments over here. So you have A, B, C, D as inputs, and then you have S0 all the way to S6 as outputs, and those correspond to the pins that were laid out in the document here. So as we said, let's go to the inputs. So A, B, and C are inputs, but they correspond to these switches. Oh shoot, I screwed that up. So A, B, C corresponds to these pins, and as we see, C10, C11, C12, D12, and C12 are corresponding to this. The outputs, which we want the outputs to go to the 7 segments. So we just go to the 7 segments. We see C14, C14, E15, C15, and so on, so on. So if we compile this, okay, everything is great, 0 errors, and then we'll program it and just press start. Successful. And we'll switch back to the board. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day.